Hey, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that ties stupidity up in the basement for 2 weeks and 2 weeks. Oh shit, hold, I'll be right back.
Two hours later.
Oh, for God's sakes. Yeah, so it turns out if you leave stupid tied up for 2 weeks with no food or water, it doesn't survive. My bad. Anyway, flat earthers are getting dumber. I know that seems like an impossibility, but it's actually happening. Today we're looking at the dumbest person I've ever met. Somebody who lies not only to others, but to himself. Someone who owes somebody else 100,000 euros and who thinks yelling like a madman is the way to win a debate. He thinks he has a secret knowledge that no one else has and is special. Well, he's right. He's definitely special, just not in the way he thinks, more in the back of the bus licking the windows kind of special. This is the story of Howard. But from now on, I will call him Harold the Stupid because it annoys him. This is episode 38 of Flerfs Are Idiots.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Meet Howard George Stirrup, a flat earth activist dumbass of epic proportions. Howard, who from this point forward we will only refer to as Harold the Stupid, thinks the earth is flat and has devised some experiments, well at least he calls them experiments, to prove this fucking stupid notion. Harold usually spends his time shouting at pigeons in the street and trying to convince people that the CIA are controlling them through fillings in their teeth, so maybe he didn't have time to learn actual science? Let's find out.
Throughout history, we've been distracted and divided by having beliefs in other people's theories and second-hand information.
Oh man, flat earthers can't do anything right. Harold, how did you manage to mix the sound so badly that the water behind you is 5 times louder than you are? Harold the Stupid, you are a massive fail whale.
Stop the debate. Just do the experiment at sea level and see for yourself. By observing buildings entirely from top to bottom, 10 to 30 miles along the coast.
Top to bottom? Really? Where's the bottom of these buildings? Or the beach in front of them for that matter? And of course you are ignoring refraction. Also, did you say 10 or 30 miles? Because that's a 66% variance. Standard refraction makes light bend 0.5 degrees. And thanks to Tommy Gronville for modelling this out for me, we see that light would only have to bend 0.016 degrees for 10 miles. And light would only have to bend 0.162 degrees for 30 miles. This matches the globe predictions perfectly and is not evidence for there being no curve. Also, when there's observations like this one from Miles Davis that show mountains over 500 metres in elevation appearing below an eye level of 210 metres, it makes observations like yours irrelevant. It's high enough for refraction to not be an issue. Links to both Tommy's and Miles' channel will be in the description.
This confirms that the Earth does not curve 8 inches per mile squared, as it would have to if it truly was 25,000 miles in circumference.
8 inches per mile squared is not the formula for the curve of the Earth. That's a parabola, not a circle. This is what 8 inches per mile squared looks like if you map it out. In this graph, the blue circle is Earth and the red curve is what you get if you map out 8 inches per mile squared. The correct formula for the curve of the Earth is h equals r times 1 minus cos a. This formula is accurate for any distance.
This is irrefutable evidence that we are being lied to about the dimensions and the situation of where we are.
No, Harold, that's irrefutable evidence. You haven't a clue what you're talking about. Based on your logic, I should be able to see New York from the coast of Ireland with a powerful enough zoom. Or I should be able to see Mount Everest from, well, anywhere on Earth. Or I should be able to see the magic ice wall guarded by iron penguins from southern Australia. I can't, because Earth's a sphere, and you're a fucking idiot.
Along with the Big Bang, evolution, and quantum physics propaganda, we are having our beliefs and understanding misled.
Although the Big Bang, evolution and quantum physics have very little to do with the shape of the Earth, all are facts. The cosmic microwave background radiation is literally remnants of the Big Bang. Evolution is backed up by mountains of evidence. Check out the recent debates against young Earth creationist dumbass Kent Hovind by Conspiracy Cats and Professor Dave, links in the description. And quantum physics, well, we wouldn't be able to have our lovely online debates with our computers without an understanding of the uncertainty principle of quantum mechanics. Just because you don't understand something does not make it a lie.
This leads us to be materialistic and blind and insensitive to all the other problems around the world.
Say that again, Harold, but slowly.
I'm Howard George Stirrer. Here we've got a very simple experiment that you can make for yourself that proves that the stars are not what we've been taught.
How in the fuck are you going to see stars in the daylight, you numpty?
Zoom in on the brightest star or planet in the sky and record a short video.
So here's the thing, your P900 isn't designed for looking at the stars. You should use a telescope for that. But also, learn how to focus a camera. This is a video from a channel called Honeybee and is using a P1000 to look at the stars and actually has it in focus. But more impressive than that is an astrophotographer called Geistview who takes these amazing images using this telescope and camera setup. As you can see, the stars look nothing like what you claim. Learn how to use a camera. What you've done is use an out of focus bunch of footage and claim it proves your point. That's called confirmation bias and being a moron.
The reason I'm making these videos isn't to push my beliefs onto people, but rather that you see how easy you can make the experiments for yourselves. My favourite of all is to get 2 glasses of water and place one under the moonlight and one in shade of the moonlight. Leave them for about 30 minutes, and with a thermostat for food, you can go and check for yourselves. I'm not going to make a 30-minute video, and you'll see that the one under the moonlight is always 2 or 3 degrees Fahrenheit colder.
So many issues here. So many issues. First of all, you're inside. The water that isn't in the moonlight is right next to a wall that will be radiating heat. Also at night, if you wait 30 minutes, the actual air temperature is likely to drop more than 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit. That meat thermometer you are using actually has an error margin of plus or minus 2 degrees Fahrenheit, so how do you know the water is actually cooled by that much? And of course you are ignoring a well-known physical phenomenon called radiative cooling. Something in the moonlight has an open sky above it, meaning it can radiate heat back into space easier than something in the moon's shade. In a recent debate with me, Harold the Stupid expanded on his claim by saying only the waning moon cools water. So I've decided to test this and am currently doing a 30-day experiment to test Harold's claim. If you want to get involved, then the best thing to do is to join my Discord. You know, what gets me though is that flat earthers always say the heliocentric model breaks the second law of thermodynamics. Then they also say that moonlight is cold. Fuck me, that's stupid. But then so are all flat earthers.
Proving that the moon is not a reflection of the sun, as it would be warm or neutral. It's a negative charge to our atmosphere. It chills the water. Negative polarity, yin-yang. So science is supposed to be observable, measurable, repeatable and falsifiable. So come on, prove me wrong.
And of course, we are doing just that with my experiment. But when I set up the experiment page on my Discord, Harold the Stupid left. It's almost like he didn't want to find out the answer. Since then, Harold is claiming that I'm not doing the experiment properly and I'm overcomplicating things by doing it over 30 days. Well, Harold, just doing it on one day during one phase of the moon and claiming it proves moonlight is cold is another excellent example of your confirmation bias.
Hi, I'm Howard George Stirrup.
That's the third time in this video you've said your name. It's like you've got to keep reminding yourself in case you forget.
I'd like to show you how easy you can make an experiment to prove that the moonlight is not a reflection of the sun, but rather the moon projects its own light.
This should be good. Literally everything he says is wrong.
Silver, negative, cold, like a proton in a very big atom.
Negative like a proton. Did he just say that? Somebody please send help. That broke my brain.
Let's see. Half an illuminated moon in the blue sky coming up in the east, above our horizon. In theory, that's behind our globe, while the sun, going down on the west, is in theory in front of our globe.
No, not at all. The moon is above the Earth, but you know the important thing here? The shadow on your face matches that of the moon. That's because both your stupid mug and the moon are facing the sun. It's really, really simple. You know, a bit like you. Please, just go to the remedial classroom. Okay, class, shut the hell up, you bunch of window-licking twats. Quick announcement, this week's lunch menu has been changed. There was a mistake with ordering and it means that lunch every day will be deep-fried black swan. What was that, Mr. Riley? What do you mean you can't loom the horizon above the horizon? That's what looming is. Do you realise how stupid what you just said was? Go stand in the corner and think about your terrible life choices. So today we're going to talk about why we can see the moon and the sun at the same time. The moon is really far away, 250,000 miles. This means that if the moon is in an orientation where it can reflect sunlight to the people on the light side of the Terminator line, you'll be able to see both the moon and the sun at the same time. If you hold a ball out in front of you, you'll see that the shaded area on the ball you are holding matches the shaded area of the moon. What's that, Harold? No, the Earth's shadow doesn't cause the phases of the moon. The position of the moon relative to the sun and Earth does. You're a fucking idiot. Get out of my class. In fact, all of you get out. I hate all of you.
As both bodies are above our horizon at this time, that means that Earth cannot be casting a shadow on the moon, and it also doesn't explain why we see half a moon if the face of the moon is always facing us and it's directly opposite the sun. We should see a full moon.
Fuck me, no. I'm pretty sure you should be wearing a safety helmet to be outside. Do you really think that the Earth's shadow causes the phases of the moon? Praise Sagan, that's stupid.
But we don't. So we should be asking questions and making more experiments and listening less to the authorities that we know take our money.
I learned most of this very basic stuff at school, Harold, and the only thing I paid was attention. Something you've never done, I can tell. So let's recap his 3 experiments that apparently prove a flat Earth. Zooming in on something over water and seeing buildings, whilst ignoring refraction. Zooming in on stars with something not designed to do that and claiming out of focus videos prove stars are not what we are told. And testing water to see if the waning moon chills it by 2 degrees Fahrenheit, whilst using a thermometer that has a margin of error the same as your claim. Harold the Stupid, you are a fucking idiot. Next in the video, we see that he has some clips and memes, and he makes some really bad assumptions. I guess here he's trying to say that these are chemtrails, which of course don't actually exist. Look at these planes heading to combat in Bremen, Germany in World War II. Why are they contrailing? Don't you think the fucking Nazis would have seen that and they'd have turned it off? No, the horizon does not always rise to eye level, as demonstrated perfectly in this photo by MC Toon that shows the moon below eye level. And did he ask where the oceans were? How high did he think Felix was? That's enough of that video. Let's talk a bit about Harold's dishonesty, shall we?
Show some curve to win €1,000. My name's Howard George Stirrup, and I've had enough of the debate and the complicated explanations, so I've decided to prove that the Earth is flat for once and for all. It's 33 kilometres from Benidorm to San Juan Alicante. That's 20 miles as the crow flies. So according to the Pythagorean theorem, there should be 80 metres hidden due to the curve. To help put that into perspective, that's the first 20 floors of the average apartment block. But, as it's always happy hour in Benny York, I'm willing to increase the odds. If you can show me 60 metres hidden due to the curve, I'm willing to pay €1,000 cash in hand to whoever's got a better camera than I do. Good luck.
So, Harold the Stupid has actually upped the amount he says that he will pay to €100,000. But here's the thing, his challenge has actually been met. This is an answer to his challenge. On the 5th of June 2018, someone made these observations. Pictures were taken from Faro Graugandia towards Denia. 2 photos were taken about 40 metres apart laterally, one at 1 metre above sea level and one about 8 metres above sea level. As this webpage shows, link in the description, at the higher elevation, you see more of the cliff face, and this demonstrates about 60 metres of curve. Of course, Harold has claimed these are fake and refuses to pay. Not that anyone thinks a flat earther has €100,000 to give anyway. Harold, you're a liar, a con man and a welcher. Pay what you owe or admit you are wrong. You ask for repeatable counter evidence. This is what I presented in this video. That's all the stupid that I can take for today. But before I go, I want to say a massive thank you to all my patrons. It's thanks to the support and generosity of you guys that I'm able to do this full time, bring you great content and continue to fight the stupid. Patrons get to vote on what each episode of my series Stupid Humans will be about, early access to some videos and the chance to come on some live streams. Your support is amazing. To join, go to patreon.com/FTFE. And thank you. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and hit the notification bell so you never miss anything from FTFE. To get involved with the cold moonlight test, join my Discord, link in the description, and remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth.
Fight the flat, 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 fight the flat,
The crane.
fight the flat.